back again for my more useless predictions. So we'll see how bad we get this week. Obviously, the talking point in the world of football at the moment is the takeover at Newcastle and obviously Steve Bruce. I don't think he's going to go just yet, even though he's like 1-14 on the basis of who's actually going to come in to take over. So history will show. You look at Chelsea and Man City. Now, Chelsea, when they got took over by Abramovich at the end of the 2002-03 season, beat Liverpool on the last game of the season in Zola's last game to get into the Champions League. So they already had a bit of money. Abramovich come in, put a lot of money into this squad that was already there in a league that was monopolised by Man United and Arsenal. Obviously brought the likes of Glenn Johnson, Joe Cole, Mutu, Hernan Crespo, Makelele, Damien Duff, them sorts of players. So Chelsea already had a decent enough squad. Then with Ranieri, the next season in 03-04, when Arsenal was the Invincibles, got to the semi-final of the Champions League, finished second, then sacked him and obviously brought in Mourinho, who then spent more money, like the likes of Carvalho, Drogba, Cech, Paulo Ferreira, Ian Robben, Thiago. So it was already there for Chelsea. And then started to obviously to win things, and Abramovich just kept pumping money in and money in and money in. And you look at the success that they've had. That's one way to look at it. Whereas Newcastle don't have the squad what Chelsea had back then. They're not competing for Europe, so it's not like putting a few pieces to the puzzle. Whereas Newcastle are very similar to where Man City was. Now, the thing about Man City is people forget that they had a takeover the year before. They had the takeover they got now. They had the Chinese guy, Thaksin Shinawatra, come in. Obviously and they got Sven, pumped a lot of money at Sven year after he left England job. Bought like Rolando Bianchi, had a good season in Serie A. Vedran Chorluka, who did actually have a good career in the Premier League, then ended up turning out for Tottenham. Alano was a very, very good player, scored one of the best free kicks actually against Newcastle. Valery Bodjanov, I think he was the youngest player to make his debut in Serie A when he was at Fiorentina in 2004-05. Martin Petrov, again, another good player, ended up turning out for Bolton. Then mid-season, they bought Benjani from Portsmouth. Obviously, I think he scored the winner at Old Trafford that year. Then you've got Giovanni as well. Had a good start. Also scored the win against United. Then only had one season wonder. Then ended up turning out for Hull City. Obviously, that season they ended up finishing 9th. Sven's last game they got beat 8-1 by Middlesbrough at the Riverside. Then 08-09 brought Mark Hughes in, bought Tel Banaim from Chelsea, Company and Vincent Kompany and Nigel de Jong from Hamburg. They then brought Wayne Bridge and Sean Wright-Phillips, Benaim, all three of them, all came from Chelsea. Bought Robinho. That was the big one, I think, was getting Robinho in. Obviously, he thought he was going to Man United. Didn't know there was two teams in Manchester. It was class as well, to be fair. Like Robinho, for the first few months, he was absolutely shit hot. I was there at the 5-1 capitulation on Boxing Day. Man City against Hull City, and the little chop he does to send Michael Turner for an hot dog and then scores was very, very special. Then bought Craig Bellamy in the January, along with Shea Given from Newcastle. Finished 10th that year. It was only the year after. Then they bought the Adebayors of the world. They bought Adebayor, Carlos Tevez, Colo Torre, things like that. Midway through the season, sacked Mark Hughes and brought Mancini in, a serial winner. Brought Vieira in the January that year. Then they give Mancini the time. Mancini brought in Balotelli, Dzeko, Yaya Toure, David Silva, those sorts of players, and won the FA Cup that season. Obviously, James Milner had a worldie at Villa that year and brought him in. Won the FA Cup. So it's going to take time with Newcastle. I think looking at the managers that are linked with the job, like the Contes and the Zidanes, I said last year it'd be Pochettino or Allegri. Obviously, they're both in work now. History shows I don't think they're going to go down that route because the squad isn't there. They've essentially got a championship squad minus a few players. It's not going to be done overnight, but they will become a superpower. It'll be done slowly but surely. I think the players they'll be looking at is they're going to go to the likes of Man United, looking at the Lingards, buys. I think Coutinho's a dead set to go to Newcastle. They'll offer him the stupid money. Probably someone like Umtiti who can't get a game. They'll look for them sort of big names. But right now, manager-wise, I don't see him sacking Bruce unless they've got somebody dead set to bring in. It's like linked to Brendan Rodgers. Why would he leave Leicester to go? If you've got Leicester from there to there, why would you then take all that step backwards? Frank Lampard's linked. I think Lampard's probably the likely one, but is he going to do a better job with these sort of players than Steve Bruce is? Because, like I said, I mean, they can spend 200 million in January, I think, before FFP hits. But then you've got to then gel that squad together. Is it going to do any better than what Bruce is doing now? I mean, if you look at what he's done previously, he has kept him up with a shite squad. So it's not going to change this season. I think it'll be more next summer. Then they'll be looking to bring in somebody a bit more established, like maybe your Graham Potters. They may want to see the attacking football, but it took Graham Potter 2 seasons to get Brighton playing that way. So I don't think it is going to happen overnight for Newcastle. But time will tell. So we'll go on to today's game. We've got the early kickoff is Watford against Liverpool. Watford obviously sacked their manager, Munoz. It was an absolute banker. He was always going first. Liverpool, I think, will win that one 2-0. I was fortunate to watch them at Anfield last time out against Man City, and the quality on show was ridiculous. When you see it on TV and see it in real life, you see it just looks a lot slower and a lot more technical. And you watch, obviously, how they create space and things like that. And Mo Salah's he's a freak. He's an absolute freak. Just pay him what he wants. They can't afford to let him go. That'll be 2-0. Obviously, Watford got Ranieri. I don't think they'll get the new manager bounce today, but he might keep them up. Obviously, they got beat last time out at Leeds, 1-0. Liverpool was 2-2 at Anfield. Villa against Wolves. I think Villa will win this one 2-1. They've started okay. Obviously, don't seem to be missing Jack Grealish that much. But they did get beat at Spurs last time out, did Villa, and Wolves obviously beat Newcastle 2-1. Then we go on to Leicester against United. So, big talking points for that one was obviously Ronaldo not starting the game against Everton. Apparently not fit to play 2 games in a week, but he's 36 and he's in unbelievable shape. I mean, his rig's fucking ridiculous. But his goal record, I don't think it's matched. Like, he's the best goal scorer in the world, so why would you not start him? They're not really in a position to be resting players, not in league games. And you can't really rest them in Carabao Cup anyway, because obviously they're out. Leicester against United, obviously, no Maguire, no Varane, so I assume it'll be Bailly and Lindelof. Leicester have been hit and miss this year. Obviously, there was 2-0 up last time out against Palace, ended up drawing 2-2. I think that one will be 1-1 today. City against Burnley. Now, Burnley haven't won yet this season, and they've been tonked 5-0 in the last couple of times that they had 5-0. I think today, I'm going to go with 6. I'm going to go with 6-0 City. I think Foden's going to run riot against them today. Yeah, very good. Very, very good player. He's Lord Phil. Norwich against Brighton. Norwich, they're the whipping boys this year. Brighton have obviously started quite well. I think it'll be Brighton 1-0. Obviously, they just drew 0-0 last time out with Arsenal. And Norwich was 0-0 also, so there won't be many goals in this one. I think steady 1-0 Brighton. Southampton, again, not won a game this season yet. Is pressure getting to Hasenhüttl. Got beat last time out 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. I think they'll get beat again today. I think it'll be 2-1 Leeds. Leeds got the first win of the season last time out against Watford. We then go on to Brentford and Chelsea. Now, Brentford got a surprise win last time out against West Ham at West Ham's ground. Made a good start. They make things difficult, don't they, Brentford, but they are very exciting to watch. Tony's a handful. The defence is fairly tight. But I think Chelsea will have a little bit too much for them. I think they'll be a little bit too smart. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win. Then get Everton tomorrow against West Ham. Now, Everton, obviously, his last game was at Old Trafford. The 1-1 draw, and West Ham got beat. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go for 2-2 in that one. Then you get the first game of the new era at Newcastle. I think it'll be 1-1. And Newcastle got beat last time out, obviously, by Wolves, and Spurs beat Villa last time. But I think this new owner bounce at St James is going to be absolutely rocking tomorrow. Spurs apparently have no Son. Is it a game changer? I think he's Spurs' best player because obviously Harry Kane's done shite this year. He's fallen off a cliff, spat his dummy out because he didn't get his move to City. I think that'll be a 1-1 draw. And then Monday night's game is Arsenal against Palace. Vieira returning to the Emirates. Well, not returning, never fucking played there. But going back to Arsenal. I think it'll be 2-0 Arsenal. They seem to have turned a corner after a slow start to the season. Once they've got the strongest 11 out, it does look a very good team. But if they can keep that 11 fit for the full rest of the season, they're not going to win the league, obviously, but they could be up there challenging for the top 4 spot, because I think your top 3 will be City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. It can be in any order. Then obviously United, Arsenal. Could you put West Ham in there? I don't think so. But I think they could put Leicester. No, I think they'll fall away. I think United will just nick 4th. But I mean, Arsenal could then obviously take 5th, get back into Europe. But yeah, we'll see what happens this week.